How is there so much room in this car? Hey everyone, if it's your first time here, welcome, and if not, welcome back. Today I am going to be giving you a few features why a minivan is a must. So let's get to it. For starters, we currently own the Honda Odyssey 2018, and I believe ours is the EXL. I'll make sure to check and I'll add it here in case I'm incorrect, but that's the one that we currently own. I'm sorry if the lighting is gonna go in and out because we have kind of an overcast day, so I apologize for that. And I also want to apologize because this video was actually requested in 2017 when I first got my van. And I actually did film a review once, but I was super pregnant and it was just unbearable for me to watch it. Instead of doing a full review of our minivan, I thought I should mention a couple of the features that absolutely sold us on a minivan. If you've been a subscriber for a long time and you happen to have watched the video where I said that we were getting a minivan, you know that we had my dream car, a Jeep Grand Cherokee. So we traded in my dream car and I have not missed it one bit. Not even for a second have I missed that car. And I never thought I would want a minivan or that I would be a mom with a minivan, but I love ours and I don't know why we didn't get one sooner. So let me just jump right into why I love it so much. So the first feature is pretty dang obvious. It is the sliding doors. If you have a family, you know that it is not always the easiest to get your kids in and out of cars when you are out and about someplace, because not everyone is nice enough to leave some space in between cars, which can get pretty difficult when you have children that are in car seats because you have to maneuver around not hitting the other car and getting enough space. It can be a nightmare, especially when you have a newborn and you have to work with a carrier. It's just not easy. When you have a minivan, that's not really something you have to worry about too much because you have this sliding door that you can open with your fob, and now you have this huge open space for you to work with, just clicking your kid right into their car seat base or simply putting your child into their car seat. It makes a world of a difference. And I know that minivans are not cool or whatever, but once you have one, you realize you don't care. I love my car and I don't care if it's not cool, especially because of those doors. Also, I don't think a lot of people mention this, but I noticed it like that. Our other car, when you close the doors, it was kind of loud. And sometimes when you have sleeping kids, you don't want the door to be so loud. And I really do appreciate that ours actually is kind of silent when closing, which is a plus because when you have a sleeping baby and you have to go in or out of your car, it's a blessing to not have a door slam and wake your baby up. I will admit that the sliding doors aren't exactly super silent, but the front doors are. I don't really have a problem whenever my daughter falls asleep, which is almost always on our way home. I can open the doors and she does not wake up. So that is definitely a plus. I love that the doors are pretty quiet and, you know, those huge sliding doors are a blessing. The minivan that we own, I don't know why they didn't continue doing this, or, you know, I haven't done my research to make sure why they discontinued this, but the version that we have, the sliding railing is hidden in between like the actual car and the window, and you can't see that line that other minivans have. The newer versions don't have this, and I don't know why. I need to make sure I look into this, but that's actually a feature that I really liked because it looks really nice and sleek. Another practical reason why I love my minivan is cup holders. And I know that's pretty silly, but it's because when you are a mom, I usually have a Yeti with me and I carry my kids' water bottles. They do have water bottles in their car seats, but if I go through a drive-through or end up picking something up, you need all the cup holders you can have. And I counted, and I think that ours has about 17 cup holders. If you count the middle seat when it's bended down, it has 3, which is great because sometimes I leave with a bunch of drinks and then I come back with double. So I love having all of the cup holders. Also, if you notice, the cup holders are kind of squared off to one side, and I read that that's because it is to accommodate juice boxes, which is so fun and thoughtful because Usually minivans are for moms, and kids love their juice boxes, which is also another great feature. It's so silly and simple, but it is such a help for us moms. I absolutely love that our car, it feels like you're driving a car, not like you're driving a bus. It's really nice and easy to maneuver. I don't think I've had trouble with it a lot, only when I have to go inside of my garage, just because it's kind of tricky. But other than that, it's such an easy car to drive. And I love that it has a low entry, which really facilitates kids to get in and out of the car on their own. I love this, and my kids do too. They can get in the car and then out. I do always offer their hand because I don't want them to misstep and fall. But it's great, especially when they get a little bit bigger. They can do this on their own, sit down. It's just really fun. Also, I adore our fob because, as I said previously, you can open the sliding doors with your fob. You can turn on the ignition with your fob. You can open the trunk with it. Obviously, you can also lock and unlock your car, and it has a panic button. But I love that I can just press a button and open the doors in case I'm in a hurry, and I can just open, they can get in, and we're good to go. As far as safety features, I love that ours has a rear view camera. So when I put my car in reverse, I can see what's behind us. But actually, it has a really great alert system. So if anything is coming in any direction and you are in the reverse, it will alert you. And actually, in the monitor, you will get some flashing arrows with the direction where the movement is coming from, which is really helpful because sometimes kids are chaotic. If you happen to miss something, you can have it right there really big and it's loud, so you can't really miss it, which is an awesome safety feature. Another safety feature that I absolutely adore is that if you are switching lanes, it will also let you know if there is a car or anything in proximity to you that you may hit. So it will alert you so that you don't switch lanes at that moment, and it lights up with an orange light to the side where you are wanting to switch lanes or turn or whatever. It is really great because it alerts you with lights and sounds, and it will just stop beeping once it's clear for you to move. And another great safety feature is that it has another alert system. At least I have found that it works best when you are on the highway. And this is kind of great because it makes sure that you don't kind of glide into the other lane. It will be pretty loud, and it will let you know that you are going into another lane. Maybe you haven't noticed, but I think that's a great safety feature to have because when you're a parent, again, things can get pretty chaotic, and I just really appreciate any safety feature that a car has to offer, and that's a pretty great one because if you are distracted by any means, the car will let you know that you are switching lanes if you are not intending to. Those are probably my favorite safety features that our car offers. I don't think you can go wrong with extra safety features, so I thought I should mention them. I really think it's cool that ours has, instead of like a shift gear, it has buttons, and they are really nice and big, so you can't press one. I mean, I guess you can make a mistake, but it's really hard to make a mistake with buttons that are so big. You have all of them right there in the middle, and it's just easy to access and touch, and I'm kind of short and small, and I can reach them without a problem, so that's a plus. It also offers kind of a special button to the left, and that's really great if you are stuck in traffic or you are in a drive-thru, which I often found myself in, and that's a brake hold. And that's great for resting your legs. You don't have to be pressing down on the brake. You can just press that button and it will automatically just brake. And once you touch the speed pedal again, it will unlock and you are now forced to use the brake. But it's great because you get a little bit of rest, The trunk is so big. I love our trunk. If you have all of your seats up, and when I mean all of your seats, I mean the back row up, it's kind of a black hole and it's really deep. And I understand that that's not always useful, but for our family, it hasn't been a problem. I love that I can fit my strollers in there, but I usually put my groceries on top, and there's just so much room. I recently went to visit my family in Puerto Rico, and when we came back, we had 5 big suitcases and 2 smaller ones, and everything fit. All 5 of us fit also, which was mind-blowing to me because I thought we were gonna have to make 2 trips, but everything was able to fit with tons of room, and we had 2 strollers also, which is just how is there so much room in this car? But yeah, the trunk is so huge. If you have the 3rd row down, it is just a flat surface, which is great because you have so much room. I'm not sure, I can't remember right now, but I think that's how we were able to fit everything with room to spare. But yeah, when you have that third row down, it's so roomy and it's just nice and flat, and you can fit a ton of stuff in there. With kids, you know, things get sticky and messy, and I would prefer to have a seat that I can wipe down clean, and it's just so much easier. And it was one of the things that I wasn't really willing to sacrifice it, because we had that in our previous car, and I thought, if we are going to trade in my beautiful car, I am not going to sacrifice the leather seats. So that's one thing that I definitely took into consideration when purchasing this vehicle, and I'm happy that we did. Honda does a great job with all of the everything, the interior, the exterior, everything is really pretty, and you know, it's just high end, I think. And the back row is obviously not going to be as fancy because it can be used as a trunk space, so you don't want things to get ruined. However, they did manage to make it look nice. If you look closely, it is plastic, but they kind of made a little bit of detail so it will appear as if it's leather, and it has the stitching, which is a really nice touch, and I really appreciate it, because if you're in the back row, you don't feel like you are completely excluded from the rest of the people in the front. I love that when you are inside of your vehicle, it is kind of amazing how quiet it becomes. You don't get a lot of outside noise. You will still obviously get once you are in the car and you're moving, but it is kind of quiet. I noticed that right away. Like, I was like, everything is so quiet. I love it. But yeah, that's one thing that I really appreciate. I don't know if it's just me overthinking it, but I really do appreciate that. And I opted to get the version with the Blu-ray because I think that it's a great thing to have, especially when you have kids. It was such a benefit because my daughter gets car sick. Have her focus on just that instead of looking around and getting dizzy and throwing up, because she was throwing up every time we would go out, and it was just horrible. So I love that added feature. You can control it from the front. You can't see the movie, obviously, so you don't get distracted, but you control it from the front. It has a pair of two sets of headphones. It has a controller so that if you're in the back or you have older kids, they can control the Blu-ray from the back, which is also a benefit. So when we made this purchase, I thought that that was a must-have. I know that not everyone agrees, but I think that it is worth every penny. And finally, the big one. The reason why we decided that this was the car for us is the magic sliding row. Let me tell you, I absolutely love this feature on our car. I thought we were gonna get a Sienna from Toyota, but we saw this vehicle first and I immediately said, this is it. This is the one that I want. I absolutely love that you do have to remove the middle seat, but it's not a huge deal. I love so much that you can just grab onto the bottom of the seat and slide it to the side, which makes getting kids inside the car in the back row so much easier. It's so easy. It's the small things that you really appreciate when you have this type of vehicle. It's such a family car. It is obviously made for families because it makes your life so much easier when you are out. You can slide side to side, and the middle you can actually slide to the front, which is great because when I first had my baby, I really loved having her closer to me because it was such a benefit to just check on her. She was nice and close. If she dropped her passy, I could put it right back in. If I needed to entertain her a little bit, if she was getting fussy, I could see her, she was close, I could touch her, which makes such a huge difference from just the middle main section. So that's something to definitely consider when you are looking for a minivan. So that is it. Those are all of the reasons why I love my minivan, and I think that you would too. I really think that minivans don't get the credit they deserve because they are awesome. And I know that it's just seen as a not cool vehicle, but I love mine and I am not ashamed to say it. I absolutely love it, and I can't believe that we didn't get one from the get-go. So I know that this is not my usual type of content, but I was requested this a lot when I first got my van, and I just wasn't able to do so when we first got it, and then I was super pregnant when I did, and it was just it was not a good look. So I am happy that I am able to do this now. It's not a full review, but these are the reasons why I love it. So if you're considering a family vehicle, I highly recommend this one. It is amazing. I love it so much. I would recommend you do your research, go test drive it. A lot of dealers will let you install your car seats and take it for a test drive with your car seats inside. So make sure you do that when you are researching your vehicle. And if this was helpful or useful at all, show me with a thumbs up. If you want to leave me a comment, feel free to do so. And if you haven't subscribed and love all type of mama content just like this, don't forget to click that subscribe button before you go. And I hope to see you soon. Bye.